We are 48 schools across 14 cities, but together we are one Shawnee mission, and we are all in.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. I am your proud host and superintendent, Dr. Mike Schumacher.
Good morning, Dr. Schumacher. Yes, I'm Brittany Gonzer, Director of Professional Learning. Glad to be back with everybody.
Episode 16, it's hard to believe.
I know. We're figuring this out, aren't we?
We're having fun, though.
We are definitely having fun. Anybody who's watching, I think, has been figuring that out.
They've been figuring that out, 100%. So, of course, we are 15 episodes in. We've got three tremendous guests that we're about to introduce everyone to. But before we do that, let's talk about our last episode that aired.
Wow, because we had some incredible guests there as well. I know we both learned a lot from that episode. Just, it's interesting because we work in close proximity to those programs, but to hear the ins and outs of it every day, to get to hear from our students, it was really cool to just kind of know about a day in their lives.
Yeah, so one of the big things we want to do in this podcast is to highlight the great things that are taking place in Shawnee Mission, and of course the signature programs are one of those. We talk about kids, hoping that kids can find their niche, their place, and their people. I think our signature programs are clearly doing that.
Yeah, I'd never really thought about the connection between our signature programs and belonging.
Right.
But hearing from our students and hearing them articulate that really helped me look at that in a different way. So, it's just awesome to hear the things that they're learning about and the skills they're building. They truly leave here ready, to step into those roles.
Right, and so if you haven't listened to it or watched it, we talked about game design and animation. We talked about our fire science program. Just some really unique things that we're doing here in Shawnee Mission that are setting us apart and giving our kids a leg up on the competition. So really proud of that, episode. And so please tune in if you haven't taken a look at that. Some great stuff taking place here in the signature program. So with that, maybe a little transition. So let's talk about this episode.
Yeah. So we are here to talk about our Research and Development Forum, which is another pretty exciting event. Again, that just prepares our students in a way that I think is so unique to our district, and it's really a proud tradition that I don't think anybody else can say that they have anything like this. It's incredible.
I can imagine. So let's find out who our guests are. Let's start over to our left here. Dr. Neal, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Leanne Neal, and I am Chief of Early Childhood Education and Sustainability, but also the proud leader and supporter of R&D Forum.
Thank you. Audrey?
My name is Audrey Jennings, and I'm a junior at Shawnee Mission West, and this past year I won the pitch competition for the next great idea.
And we're going to find out about that pitch competition. So cool. So congratulations on last year. Mr. Rainier, introduce yourself, please.
Bob Rainier. I'm a retired banker, and in my family has been involved with the R&D Forum since the very beginning, probably close to 70 years, 60 plus years.
63.
63 years,
That's
one family
incredible.
supporting this effort. And so we're going to find out more about that. We want to tease that out, Mr. Rainier. But before we do that, Dr. Neal, kind of describe from a 10,000-foot view, what is the R&D Forum, and maybe how has it changed from its inception 63 years ago into what we're seeing today?
Sure. Well, thanks for having us and featuring it, because it is a really unique opportunity to highlight the amazing things that our students and our teachers are doing. My relationship with R&D Forum actually started when I was 7 years old. And I was in the second grade, and we entered a project. So I have been a fan of R&D Forum for a long time. And it has ebbed and flowed, and I'll let Mr. Rainier talk a little bit about the early years, because his parents' vision for it was really amazing, to be able to highlight innovation and things that students were doing that really didn't have a showcase at the time. And we've continued that, but we've continued to try to freshen it. So over time, we've added in now, we focus on science, the career and technical education programs. So some of the programs you talked about earlier. So we have we've had engineering and game design, high-level science, the biotechnology students, and their research is phenomenal, and the research that some of our high school students are doing. And then we have art, which brings a lot of people in the door for our art exhibit. And it's so fun to see, a first grader come in with an entire extended family, mom, dad, both sets of grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, just to see that child's one piece of work that's hanging on the wall. And then we added the next great idea pitch competition, which I think embodies real-world learning. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but gives students an opportunity to pitch their ideas in front of judges for actual funding to further their idea.
So cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Dr. Neal talked about your family's vision and how you got started, but can you harken back to those initial days
Sure.
and tell us where,
Yeah, it was primarily my father. When my brother and sister and I were all Shawnee Mission grads, Shawnee Mission East grads, and he went to a lot of our the things that happened at the school, and there were plays, there were performances by the band, there were lots of different things, and he recognized, or at least felt like there was not enough emphasis on the sciences, and he wanted to see, he saw people getting nice trophies for their competition in athletic events. He wanted to see that for the sciences, and so he went to Dr. Malotsky, who was the superintendent at the time, and said, "Is there something we can do with that?" And they already had a science fair, and then this was just basically taking the science fair and trying to make that a little bit, provide some additional incentives and some other things to that, and that was the basic. Genesis of the idea was to provide more direction and not direction, but the emphasis and recognition, I guess, of people that excelled within the sciences and in the academic side of the world.
It truly is doing that, Dr. Gunge. I mean, you've
Yeah,
seen it.
it's
You and I have
incredible.
been in the district for about the same amount of time,
Yep,
right? 10
yep,
years,
little-
and we've seen it kind of change over the course of those 10 years, but it truly emphasizes so many of our kids every single year.
I can't imagine, having watched it over the period of time that the two of you have, how much change you've seen when, just in 10 years, I've seen it evolve so much, but it's incredible from, supporting those projects that our secondary, middle, and high school students enter to, as an elementary principal, I remember, my students being so proud and coming
Right.
and telling me, like, "You're coming, right? You're going to come see our project." I will be there, yes. It's a great opportunity for our community to gather, and having it in this space, I think, has been fun. Just in the last few years, because that hasn't been for too long, right, Dr. Neal? It's only been a few years here at the CAA.
That's correct, for about the last 5.
Okay, yeah.
So you mentioned the Next Great Idea pitch competition. It was kind of born out of the pandemic a little bit. Is that right?
It was.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we kept the R&D, the spirit of R&D alive during the pandemic, even when everybody was at home. We invited people to be innovative at home and put it out on social media and tag it associated with R&D Forum. And so the next year coming out of that, we thought, what's something that we can add, that we can expand, particularly with the real world component. And so that's when we started the Next Great Idea pitch and opened it up literally K-12. And actually, it's been really interesting. Audrey happens to be one of our high school winners, but many of our winners have actually been elementary and middle school students that have come in with some pretty amazing ideas.
Yeah, so I want to get to Audrey. So tell us about it. Tell us about what the Next Great Idea pitch looked like from your perspective, and then maybe tell us about your project. And you won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and from my perspective, it was very busy. So I didn't find out that there was this going on until about 2 days before the deadline for the first initial submission.
Wow.
Yep. And once I finally made it through those rounds, we got to meet Miss Neal, and we got to work with her and figure out how to strengthen our project and make it work better and learn how to pitch and do all that stuff. And yeah, so it was a really interesting thing. It was very new to me, but it was fun.
That's great. And your project, tell us about that.
Yeah, so my project is called the Dot Spot, and it provides free period products for students within Shawnee Mission West, and I'm hoping to expand it out to all the other Shawnee Mission schools eventually. But they're stored within lockers because we don't typically use lockers in our school, and it ranges from all sizes of pads and all sizes of tampons to make it available for everybody.
That's great. So not only was it an idea, I mean, you've put it into fruition. It's actually taking place, right? So you took some of that money or that money that you won and...
Yeah, so I was provided $1,500 towards my project, and I was able to put that towards buying period products, which can be very expensive, and buying organizers to put in the lockers and to help make my own brand logo as well. So I made it into a magnet, and I was able to purchase those with the money that I was given.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So, Mr. Rainier, that's got to make you feel so proud. I mean, to see your family's efforts turning into, tangible things
Right.
like this. Yeah.
it wouldn't have lasted this long if it hadn't evolved. And I have to give a lot of congratulations to the district, Leanne, her team, of keeping it current. It's just like, there weren't podcasts in 1963. That you had to keep it more current. And I think that, and frankly, in my outside observation of public education, we keep raising our standards. And, students, I think it takes more to challenge them these days. And so I think it's really admirable that the district has stayed ahead of that curve and has really kind of changed it. And I do think that, that I think there's even more changes in the future of more integration with higher ed, because I really think that this is a stepping stone to the next level. So I'm very, very pleased with our participation with the school district, and I think Shawnee Mission's done a wonderful job of kind of making this into something that is really valuable for students.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we're so grateful for the opportunity that it gives our students, for the audience that it gives them to share these real, authentic ideas. Gosh, talk about being a visionary. Wow, that's amazing that your father thought of this all these years ago. That's just so cool. I wonder, you've been a participant in this for so long. Are there any great memories that stand out to you, or any student interactions that you can recall? Just anything that stands out in your mind over the years?
No, it was just been enjoyable, seeing the students, seeing the projects. Some of the technical projects are just beyond most of our capacity to understand, because they're really, that is impressive in itself. But the breadth of the art side of things, that's been very, very interesting, and it's good to see the talent that's coming out of Shawnee Mission. But it's also, I think it's really important, and I think it's valuable to have something that allows them to kind of, it's a competitive thing. And that was kind of my dad's sort of thing, was, give them a stage, give them an opportunity to highlight the people that have really just gone. His thing, the over and above. Just go over and above what is required to graduate from public education. But I just think it's a great forum. It's a great opportunity for students, and it's really interesting to see some of the teachers that have really engaged in this and have been stalwarts. Their students have risen to the top many, many years in a row. So
it's circled on a lot of calendars at the beginning of the year for sure.
Yeah, the talent and the projects that come out of this. I'm just thinking the woodworking ones are so obvious. They're right out there, and they're just astonishing. The artwork, the music. Dr. Neal, tell us a little bit about what that schedule and that agenda looks like that's coming up here in the next few days.
Certainly. So the beauty of having it here at the Center for Academic Achievement is it's very central, and it's a great showcase space. And so we have really enjoyed the open houses that we've added. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, April 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, we will have from 4 to 7 p.m. an open house, open to the public. We invite our students, our parents, and our community. That's what I really love, is when members of the community come in, they maybe have never been here to this space, and they come in, they get to see the students' work. We have interactive, so usually our robotics teams will be here, and that is a fan favorite for our younger visitors. Also, we have performing arts groups from elementary, middle, and high each night, and then a reception. But they can go through, they can also see all the programs that are here. We encourage the programs to leave their doors open so that people can really experience, and if they're younger, maybe think ahead to a class or something that they might want to try here. That's a really nice thing about being here at this building. And you're right, some of those woodworking projects, we typically have those in the down in the main foyer because they're typically very large. Mr. Ranier, you might remember the one year we had a full-size boat that came in. That was a big winner.
That, yeah.
So we never know what's going to come in the door each year, but it's always something that's outstanding. And sometimes our students will actually come and stand with their work and talk to members and our guests that are coming in, and that is really a highlight when they can talk about the inspiration, their process, and I think that adds again to that authentic real-world opportunity for our students.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing about a self-driving car?
Oh, yeah.
Was there something about that?
That's right. That was I still have somewhere in my computer there's a picture of that exhibit. I mean, and it's got the little three-cornered. It was very, very simple.
How many years ago was that? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh, that would have been.
Do you think not?
Early 70s, maybe, or maybe.
I think it was maybe a little later than that, but it was a while ago, so it was very, unheard of really at the time. And then to think that idea then came to be and is in fruition now.
That student is doing that.
That's really That's really the
wow.
neat part about the R&D Forum, and that we try to share with teachers and students. Dream big, think big, because your idea might one day really come to life.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about real life, I mean, this is a young man went to college. I mean, he was very successful in college, but, started this company and ended up selling it to General Motors. And it was just an 8-figure number, I think. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it truly, and then, that's part of, how does that start? I mean, it started with an idea and, a very simple idea.
Sure.
But, there's always got to be a spark someplace.
So I'm thinking of our student here, right? I mean, so Audrey, as you think about a self-driving car in the early '80s or whenever that was, and now that person sold it for 8 figures. I mean, do you see yourself as being an entrepreneur down the road, or what kind of thoughts do you have around that?
Yeah, I do. I feel like this program has really given me a step into business and marketing, which I was not in that realm before this, and just seeing how these projects have bloomed into full-blown jobs is impressive to me, and I think that having this kind of experience will set me up for a really good future.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you felt comfortable that you've got it going at West.
Yes.
But then you have a vision for next year. You're a junior, and so trying to expand it further. So can you maybe expand upon that? What your thoughts are?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to expand it out to primarily high schools, but if I can get to middle schools and elementary schools, that would be just as wonderful. And I'm hoping to have the same amount of lockers at each school, 8 per bathroom. And I'm really hoping the project will be able to reach as many schools as possible.
That's great. So that's that spark, Mr. Renew, that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You never know where that's going to go.
Right.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Dr. Gonzer, any thoughts?
Yeah, as I'm listening to you share about this, Audrey, I just keep thinking, gosh, this just has to bring other things that you do in the classroom to a different perspective, right? To see, hey, I can take this project that I'm working on at school and it has some real world application. Has it caused you to look at anything different, or have you thought about any other future ideas you might want to put out there? I'm just curious how it's had an impact on you.
Yeah, so this actually started out as a classroom project.
Okay.
I had to persuade my English teacher to do something with me for the school. And then I was telling my mom about it, and she was like, you should apply for this competition. So, in seeing that something in the classroom can come to life like this makes me have a better appreciation for what I do in school and how that will impact me in the future.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Audrey, actually, you actually had an outside community member donate some additional funds to help you keep this going beyond your winnings, correct?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of support from my family and friends, and one of my family friends was willing to gather up some donations for me and get a company match for it.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wow.
So, Dr. Neal, maybe you can talk about just the amount of work that goes into this. We've talked about the teachers who are engaged, we've talked about engaging the students, but there's heading it up. But talk about the work that goes into this and why we continue to put such an emphasis on this year over year.
Well, I think if anybody listening, there's no argument that it's an amazing program that's doing great things for students. So it's an easy thing for us to get behind and work. But it does require a large team to do it. Many of the people who are behind the scenes today on the podcast, we can't do a live streamed Next Great Idea without that team of professionals. Also, our partners in curriculum instruction, they help us in all of the subject areas to organize, to get our judges. Dan Gruman, he comes alongside and helps us with all the data crunching, and so it's just a big team. Our support team members here that are working in all of our departments, they help us with checking in projects, help us with the day of, and so it's a large ask, and we do empty out every room here, which is no small feat, but it's all done because when you open those doors on those open houses, we have hundreds of families coming in. there's, it's worthwhile.
Yeah. And Mr. Rainier, I had an opportunity to come to the pitch contest last year and saw you. And what I think was so impressive, it's not just the financial backing that your family provides, but you're here, you're present, and you're engaging with our kids. What do you most look forward to as this is coming up in the next week and engaging in that activity?
Well, I mean, I have a business background, and I look forward to seeing things that are ideas that have application to the real world, and that's always exciting. But the one thing, and I want to make sure that I mentioned this, that even though we have examples, concrete examples of people that have done well and have moved on and have been successful in life, you never know how many people you really impact. And I told the story a long time ago. At my father's funeral, he had we had reception afterwards, and this fellow who I didn't know came up to me and he said, "I am here because I was a finalist in one of the R&D Forum competitions," and he said that competition and that incentive to get involved, caused me to go to medical school, and he became a physician and was an anesthesiologist. And he thought about it enough that he came to the funeral. I thought that was really fascinating, and it's someone that no one would have ever made a connection with, but it had an impact, and I think that was exactly what my dad wanted.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's great.
Truly a legacy. My goodness, 63 years of students participating in this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and as educators, that's what we're looking for in the classroom every day, is those connections and those sparks, and to get those kids that come back and say, "Hey, you made a difference in my life." That's really the magic of
that is
education.
the goal every single day, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that is just incredible, and we're so excited to be hosting again this year. Like we said, it's just right around the corner. If nothing else from this podcast, we hope people take it as an open invitation, right? Come and join us, see what it's all about. I can guarantee you won't regret it. It's just such a fun event for everyone involved. And it always stands out to me that I hear people in our community when they come in, they said, I didn't even know this building was here, or I didn't know you hosted kids in this building every day. So just a great opportunity to get the word out there and just have a good time with our students. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, so as we're wrapping up, I want to start with Audrey. So it's probably a little too late right now for a student to put in for a pitch contest this year, but next year, what would be your pitch to them? Why should a student participate in that pitch contest?
I think, honestly, if you have an idea and you really want to build on it, this is the best opportunity to do that, because you have the people that are willing to help you and you have the assistants there. And if you win, you will get the money and you can make a big deal out of it. It can become something huge.
Amazing. Love it. Dr. Neal, any final things that you want to share?
I think I would build on Audrey. We have a team that mentors that work with our students that enter the pitch competition, who are mentors that give them feedback. They can be, we do it usually via WebEx, and so we couldn't do that without them, without the professionals that come and judge. That's another group that really helps us to be able to have a robust R&D forum. So we invite everybody to come this year and in future years, we hope.
That's great. Finally, Mr. Rainier, any last comments from you?
Yeah, well, to me, one of the most interesting things is you provide some complexity to it, because the help for the students. The idea is really the nugget of what you want to try to that's the spark that you want to have. But frankly, the ability and the support that they give the students to be able to make a public presentation. That's real life. In the future, you're going to have to be in front of people, and I think doing that, some of these young people in the grade school level, that make these presentations, I'm really impressed, because they have to. It is more than just the idea. It is everything around the idea, and I think it's a great opportunity for them to learn and to kind of go to the next level. And I think that inspires some people to do great things as they grow. And I've seen kids that have come back year after year after year after year, and families that have kind of spawned a lot of R&D Forum participants. So pretty cool.
Love it. And your passion just comes through and as you're talking about it. So just thank you so much for your family's continued support of us and this incredible program. So just thank you again.
Yeah, you've heard us say the words real world, real life, all these terms that we've kind of used, but when you stop and reflect on it, gosh, all the skills our students bring to this. It's the public speaking part of it, all the different things that you don't think of. You're right, it really is a great opportunity, so thank you.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, everyone, please come out to the R&D Forum.
Yes.
It's occurring here at the Center for Academic Achievement next week, so please come out and see that and see our amazing kids doing amazing work. So let's wrap this one up, Dr. Gonzer.
All right, time already. Wow, time flies when you're having fun up here. Right. But yeah, so we are looking forward to that R&D Forum, but we also want to talk a little bit about what we've got coming up next. So Dr. Schumacher, you want to give us a little preview about what our next episode will feature?
I'm pretty excited about this one. I was a science teacher, a little bit of math, not a ton of math. I was a biology teacher, but we are doing some new and innovative things with math instruction here in Shawnee Mission, and we want to highlight that. Every time I speak to a group, I get a question, hey, what are you guys doing with math and why are you doing it? I don't understand it. I don't understand how I can help out my students. So we're going to try to tackle that in the next episode and probably make a fool out of me as they're trying to teach me how to do the new math. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's all for a cause.
That's right.
All for a cause.
Yep. And we also want to remind our community that new episodes of the show will drop every other Thursday. Mm-hmm. You can check out those past episodes on smsd.org. We're not getting a ton of feedback, but please, everyone, send in that feedback. We want some ideas for stories and ways in which we can do a little bit better with this podcast.
Yeah, we'd love to know what you guys want to know about and get some ideas from everyone else. Yep. And of course, we can't leave without saying thank you to quite a few people. So McKenna Campbell is our music tech student from Shawnee Mission East who created the music for our podcast this year. Thank you, McKenna. And then just credit to our communications team for, we got a lot going on this time of year especially, but they always bring this podcast together for us.
That's
so
right.
We appreciate them.
And I want to thank you, my friend. So this is your last episode before you're going to welcome a new addition to your family.
I know, kind of wild.
Yeah. So it's been a great year. Thank you so much. You've done an amazing job. We do have a couple more episodes. You will be coming back. Will you come back next year?
I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to be
perfect.
a part of that. So just a little pause.
A little pause, and so we'll have some guest hosts or something. But you are coming back, so don't.
Yep, I'll be here. Yeah, it's been a great learning experience. Thanks for hanging in there with us, everybody.
Very good. And our featured photo. Tell us about the featured photo.
Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Speaking of real world learning and opportunities for our students, so you may or may not know that we do featured chefs here at the Broadmoor Bistro at the Center for Academic Achievement, and we had an incredible chef here recently. So Chef Amante Domingo, who is the executive chef at Noka, which is a pretty popular restaurant in town. It's hard to get a seat there these days, right? So the fact that he was here with our students, and I think you're probably seeing some images now of what they created. Wow.
I was there that night. It was amazing. The food was just impeccable. And what's so cool about it is he teaches our students how to execute these dishes that are in his restaurant. So incredible food, just large volumes of food. But the kids got a great experience. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like you just look at these images and I'm like, that in itself is art. It's pretty cool.
Right. So again, thank you to our guests. Thank you so much, Mr. Rainier, Dr. Neal, Audrey, for joining us. Remember that we're one Shawnee Mission and we are all in.